Alright, so it is tasting day. I haven't really made a tasting video with everything from beginning to end, like a whole grain to glass. But I'm going to even try to get some tasting notes from my brew club that we meet up in a couple days. We're going to try this. This is the Galaxy Azacca Citra New England IPA. 1080 to 1017, about 8.4, 8.5. Been sitting on CO2, didn't force carboage, let it sit. It's been about 3 weeks in the keg, and gotta say, it's been hitting the spot really good. With that high ABV, you can only have like 3, and it's not like lights out on the couch. So you're feeling it. This one is great in a lot of aspects. One little flaw that I don't like is my choice of hop, but let's just run through it. So Brewer's Friend, back in July, end of July, I made this. 10 pounds Pilsner, 3 pounds white wheat, American white wheat, 2.5 pounds each of flaked oats and flaked wheat. Mashed at 148 for a little over an hour. Strained it, brought it into the, the kettle, boiled for an hour, chilled down to 170, added a ½ ounce each of Galaxy Citra and Azacca, whirlpooled for 30 minutes, pulled that bag out, put it into my fermenter bucket, racked the beer after it cooled through the plate chiller into the bucket, through the straining bag, pulled that bag back out, got all the trub out, everything. I heard that if you leave hops in from the boil and trub and excess trub, you will get some sort of oxidation or off flavors from the yeast. The yeast was White Labs 067 Coastal Haze. Built up a little starter of it, pitched it, kept the other half of the starter. It's in there for another brew, and let it go. Day 2 or 3, added 2.5 ounces each of the Galaxy Citra Azacca in the mesh bag. Let it go for 4 days, pulled that out, got rid of all the hops, put in 2.5 ounces each again, for a total of 5 ounces of each one. Back in there for another 4 days, pulled that out. Well, actually, on day 2 of that, put it into the fridge, let it cold crash, and then let that come down over the next 2 to 3 days of the hops being in there. When I went to go bottle, I pulled it out. Well, the day before I bottled, before I kegged, I pulled out the bag so that all of that trub and everything can settle down in the cold crash. I then pulled it out, kegged it up, put it on serving pressure, 12 psi, and it's been sitting there for 3 weeks. Still has a nice little head on it. The tasting notes, hopefully I have them from my brew club on here, get some honest feedback from them.
It sucks. Don't watch the video.
Don't watch this.
It's terrible.
I'm going to put that in.
That's rude.
I'm going to put this in. This is the first time that we are actually on video tasting anything on this channel. So we're trying a New England IPA that I made with Galaxy Citra and Azacca. Very happy with it, like I said before. But now we're tasting it.
John,
So
get in there more.
So basically, thanks, Dad. So what we're actually going to end up doing is we're going to go around the table and say what we like about it and what we could do better. And hopefully it helps you guys. So, cheers. See what you guys think.
Here. Skull.
It's a little warmed up now. It's been sitting...
Much warmer. Very English style now.
We're only about 10 beers in.
But they're little beers.
So Tom from Hypo Brew, what do you think about it?
It's a crossover hit. We have a crossover hit episode.
Yeah. Yes.
As I've explained to anybody who's willing to listen, my palate can't tell huge differences in really hoppy beers like New England IPAs. But what I can tell you with this is that there's no alcohol burn whatsoever, and the beer itself is finely made. There's no flaws in this at all. There's no diacetyl, there's no acetic alcohol in there, and it's a well-made beer. But I can't tell you that this hop is better than that hop or that distinguishing mark or another.
Yeah, they're kind of muddled in there.
But
so.
I can't tell that anyway. It's kind of like I'm also colorblind too. So to me,
Tell
it's
me
like,
all your flaws, Tom.
I've got this weird growth. No, but like
Tom thinks he's wearing a different colored shirt than John.
It's actually yellow.
Yeah.
He thinks.
But like, so it's with these, I'm kind of palette blind, if that makes any sense. Like,
Yes,
I know what it is, but I can't distinguish one thing from the other. But the beer is finally made, and this beer tastes just as good as any other commercial New England IPA I would buy if I were to buy them. And I know that's not in any way like, you know, crapping on what
That's
you have.
awesome.
But it's a finely made beer. So whatever you have shown in this video before that, whoever's watching this should probably follow those instructions.
That's the
what I
best
would-
thing I could possibly
that's what I'd
say. And then from you guys, what do you think?
It's a very pleasant, hoppy aroma. And then I think, you know, like the amount of hops you put in, you don't really get a big, like, in the face hit, but you can taste that hops, all the hops.
Do you find that it's more piney? Is it more like what they said for Azaka is that it's super overripe mango? Do you get like a muddled fruit, or is it like fresh fruit, or what?
More of a muddled fruit. I think.
I get more like a mixture of pine and citrus together. No alcohol burn, considering it is a high alcohol beer, like 8.5. You said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, that's a great thing to have. I mean, I could drink these and I would be in trouble very fast, but
Which I said before.
but it's a very good version of a New England IPA. It's one of your best, and I've had many of your beers, John.
Anything I could do differently? Would you suggest a different hop?
Not really. I like this combination myself.
What was the hop combination?
Galaxy, Citra, and Azaka. I was thinking maybe sub out the Azaka and do like an El Dorado, or even lose like the Galaxy because it's a little expensive right now. Maybe just do like El
Now, I'm not
Dorado,
familiar with
Mosaic,
Azaka.
Amarillo.
Is that like a high alpha?
That
or
is
low alpha?
a Mexicanus, whatever you gotta say. And it's more of a newer hop that gives a lot more herbal and they say overripe mango to it. So it's kind of just like the only one I haven't really used. I've used Galaxy and Big Secret a lot from what like Cypress does, and they get a ton of like just bold pineapple. This, I don't really get any of that. I don't know how to explain what the flavor is. The nose is there, but I like the body of it. I just don't know what I could do to make it more like a tropical, commercial type of beer.
I get the pine in there, so whatever hop is bringing the pine to the party, I would ditch that for another. I get the mango thing going on, but there's also the pineapple, or I'm sorry, the pine flavor going on there too. So whatever that hop is that's pushing that, I would ditch that for one that you know is going to bring a tropical flavor. If that's what you want to do,
Yeah.
to ditch the one for the other.
Because everybody wants that fruit bomb. So this is
If
different.
you drink these, that's what.
Yeah, that's what, if you drink these, exactly. So overall, the recipe is spot on. The color's spot on.
Yeah.
The alcohol is there. The yeast is contributing nice, tones to it, like fruit flavors to it. I just don't know about Azaka right now, but that's one thing that you can play with. It is expensive. It is 16.5 ounces of hops to get this. So, is it worth it? I think so. My brother-in-law is drinking it too. It's fucking empty right now, and I'm not home. But I'm kind of worried about that. But I really think that in closing, but after that, I really think it's probably a really good recipe to stick with
Yes.
and tweak.
Just diverse.
Yeah.
Certain hops, right?
Thank you, guys.